Welcome to the Morning English Podcast. Listen, learn, and speak English daily.
Hello, English learners, and welcome to our podcast. My name is Emma, and we are so happy that you are here with us today.
And I'm Mark. Yes, welcome everyone. It's wonderful to have you here with us today.
We really are just so thrilled you decided to join our deep dive today. Think of this as a totally relaxed, zero-pressure place to learn real, everyday English.
Exactly. Just pull up a chair or,
Yeah.
Get comfortable wherever you are. You're like our third friend sitting right here in the room with us.
Yes, no stress, no tests, just hanging out. Speaking of getting comfortable, how are you doing today?
Oh, I am doing well, but I have to admit something. I've developed a very serious, very close relationship with my living room sofa recently.
Oh, no. A serious relationship with your sofa.
It's true. I mean, especially after a long day, I sit down and it is just so warm and comfortable. It's like the cushions are physically hugging me, begging me not to leave.
I completely understand that. A comfortable sofa is, incredibly persuasive. It just pulls you in.
It really does. And to be honest, it is really hard to stand up once I sit down, which, is actually kind of perfect for what we were talking about today.
It is the perfect transition because today we are doing a deep dive into talking about exercise in English.
Yes, and wait, before anyone gets nervous, let me just say this is not about becoming some perfect fitness person overnight.
Right. No pressure here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We are not going to tell you to run a marathon. We're just going to learn natural, everyday English to talk about normal movement, feeling tired, starting slowly, and just trying again.
And it is such an important topic. So if you enjoy this kind of relaxed English learning, please take a quick second to like, subscribe, and maybe share this with one friend who is also learning English. It really helps us out.
It definitely does. So let's jump right in. I have a question for you first. When you hear the word exercise, what is the first picture that pops into your mind?
Oh, wow. Honestly, the first picture is like a movie scene. It's very intense.
Like an action movie.
Yeah, exactly. People sweating buckets, super loud, aggressive music, and someone yelling at you to, push harder. It feels really scary.
It really does. The whole word exercise almost feels like a performance. Like you have to wear the perfect gym clothes and have this flawless routine.
Right. And I think that is why so many people get stuck on the sofa. It's not that we hate moving, we just hate that intense pressure.
For sure. Because in reality, most of us are starting from what researchers call a sedentary routine.
A sedentary routine. That is a great word for our listeners. Let's explain that one. Sedentary just means a lifestyle where you sit a lot and don't move much, right?
Exactly. If you sit in the car to get to work, and then you sit at a desk all day, and then you come home and sit on the sofa, you have a sedentary routine.
Try saying that with us, everyone. Sedentary. It's such a useful word to describe modern life. Does your chair see you more than the sidewalk does?
That is a great way to ask it. And, when you have a sedentary routine, changing it feels impossible. People get stuck in an all-or-nothing mindset.
Oh, I hate the all-or-nothing mindset. It's where you think, well, if I can't work out for an hour, doing a 5-minute walk is basically useless.
Right. But that is totally false.
It is. Saying a 5-minute walk doesn't count is like saying a small drop of water won't fill a glass. I mean, eventually, it does. Every single drop counts.
I love that drop of water analogy. It takes the pressure completely off. In fact, if you're starting from zero, the goal shouldn't even be a 5-minute walk. The first goal should just be putting on your shoes.
Wait, really? Just putting on your shoes?
Just the shoes. Because once the shoes are on, the hardest part is over. You've broken the habit of sitting.
That makes so much sense. It is like a tiny promise to yourself.
Exactly. And we have a really great phrasing upgrade for our listeners here. Instead of using a strict phrase like, I do exercise.
Which sounds a bit formal and almost like a punishment, right?
Yeah, it does. So instead of saying I do exercise, try saying I try to stay active.
I try to stay active? Oh, that sounds so much softer. And it includes everything. Taking the stairs counts as staying active. Stretching counts.
Exactly. So listeners, think about your own life for a second. Do you have a sedentary routine right now, or do you try to stay active? Both are totally okay to admit.
Definitely. But, okay, let's say you do it. You get off the sofa, you put on your shoes, but then you fall into the second trap.
Uh-oh. I know a trap you're talking about.
The danger of overdoing it. The day one gym hero trap.
Oh, I have a very embarrassing personal story about this.
Oh, please. You have to share.
So, a few years ago, I decided I was going to be a gym person in one single day. I went to the gym, and I tried every single heavy machine. I felt like an absolute superhero.
Oh, no. I know how this ends.
Yep. The next morning, my legs completely refused to bend.
Yeah.
I literally could not sit down. It was a disaster.
That is the perfect example of overdoing it. When you push your body too hard, too fast.
I definitely overdid it. That is a great natural phrase. I overdid it. Just means I did way too much.
Listeners, practice that with us. I overdid it yesterday. It is such a helpful phrase for real life, even outside of exercise. Like, if you study English for 6 hours straight, you overdid it.
You really did.
Yeah.
And physically, when you overdo it, your body pays the price. A beginner might say, my body is paining, but let's upgrade that.
Yes. Instead of my body is paining, native speakers naturally say, my muscles are sore.
My muscles are sore. It means they ache because of a new workout.
So, to avoid sore muscles and overdoing it, what should we do instead of the heavy gym machines?
Walking. Honestly, just gentle, simple walking. It is the perfect, safe alternative.
I am a huge fan of walking. It is so good for your physical health, but honestly, it is even better for your mental health.
Absolutely. You always say that a short walk helps you. What's the phrase you use?
Oh, to clear my head. Yeah, I say that all the time. When I go for a walk, it helps to clear my head.
And what does that feel like for you, to clear your head?
It just means making my thoughts quieter. If I'm stressed or worried, the physical act of walking forward makes everything calm down. I always come back feeling grounded.
Grounded. That's a beautiful word.
Yeah, grounded means you feel calm, steady, and connected to the present moment. You're not floating away in your worries anymore.
So a simple walk can clear your head and make you feel grounded. That is a massive benefit for just putting one foot in front of the other.
It really is.
Yeah.
But, okay, what about the actual physical feeling of sitting all day? Because walking is great for the mind, but my body sometimes feels very old and creaky.
Oh, I relate to that entirely. Sometimes when I try to stand up from sitting on the floor, my body makes a sad sound, just like a literal groan.
A sad sound. I know exactly what you mean. We call that feeling stiff.
Stiff, yes. When your muscles feel tight and hard to move after sitting for a long time.
And to fix being stiff, we really need to focus on stretching and mobility.
Mobility is such an important concept. It's basically your body's freedom to bend and move comfortably without that sad sound.
Right. If you have good mobility, you can reach up high or bend down low easily.
And just like you build mobility slowly by stretching, you also have to build endurance.
Endurance. That's a big, important word for our deep dive today. Let's break that down.
Endurance is your keep-going strength. It's the ability to do something for a long time without getting totally exhausted.
Like running. You can't run for an hour on your very first day. You have to build your physical endurance.
Exactly. But here's the amazing part. This applies perfectly to learning English, too.
Oh, wait, I love this connection. Tell me more.
Think about English listening endurance. Just like you can't run for an hour on day one, a beginner cannot listen to an English podcast for an hour on day one. Your brain gets tired.
That is so true. I remember when I was learning a second language, after 10 minutes of listening, my brain just needed a nap.
It's the exact same kind of stamina. So instead of saying, I get tired fast, you can use our phrasing upgrade. You can say, I am trying to build my endurance.
I am trying to build my endurance. That sounds incredibly natural.
So listeners, can you relate to this? Think about your English endurance right now. Is it easier to listen to us today than it was, say, a month ago?
I bet it is. You are building that endurance drop by drop.
But, as you build that endurance, whether in walking or in speaking English, eventually, you hit a wall.
Oh, yes, the dreaded wall, where progress just seems to completely stop.
It's so frustrating. You do the same walk, but you don't feel fitter. You study the same words, but you don't feel smarter.
We call that hitting a plateau. A plateau is like the quiet, flat part of a journey. You are trying really hard, but the progress just slows way down.
Hit a plateau. So instead of saying, my progress stopped, native speakers will say, I've hit a plateau.
And it is so important to remember that a plateau is not a failure. Slow progress is still progress. Your body and your brain are just adapting.
That's a great point. But when people hit a plateau, they often get discouraged and they just stop. They quit the routine.
Yeah, and then a few weeks go by, and this really heavy feeling creeps in. Shame.
Shame is so heavy. You feel bad that you stopped. You start saying things like, I failed, or I'm just lazy.
And we want to push back against those negative words completely. You are not lazy. Life just happens.
Exactly. So how do we ditch that shame?
By changing the words we use. Instead of saying, I failed, or I want to start exercise again, we use a much kinder phrase. I want to get back into it.
Get back into it. That is fantastic. And the real magic phrase is just telling yourself, I am starting again.
I am starting again.
Yeah.
It takes all the guilt away. It's just a neutral, powerful fact.
Let's actually do a quick role play, just a short conversation between two friends to show how this sounds in real life. I'll start.
Perfect. Let's do it.
Hey, Emma, I haven't seen you at the park lately for your morning walks.
Yeah, I know. I completely stopped going last month. I hit a plateau and just got kind of frustrated.
Oh, I totally get that. Are you going to get back into it?
I think so. My muscles feel really stiff from sitting at my desk, so I am starting again tomorrow. Just a short walk to clear my head.
That sounds great. Just don't overdo it on your first day back.
See, that is how natural and easy those phrases are to use.
It sounds so much better than beating yourself up. Because starting again is a sign of strength, not weakness.
It really is. Starting again is still strength, whether it's fitness or practicing English.
Well, we have covered so much amazing ground today in our deep dive. Let's do a really quick recap of the main lessons.
Yes. So first, exercise does not need to be a cinematic, perfect performance. Walking and stretching absolutely count.
Starting small, just putting on your shoes, is the smartest way to build a habit.
Let's rapidly review our core vocabulary words, too. Listeners, say these out loud with us if you can. First, sedentary.
Sedentary, meaning sitting a lot. Next, endurance.
Endurance, that keep-going strength for your body or your brain. Next, mobility.
Mobility, the freedom to move comfortably without being stiff. Next, plateau.
Plateau, when progress slows down but you keep going anyway. And finally, overdue.
Overdue, pushing yourself too hard too fast. Great job, everyone.
Amazing job. And before we wrap up, we have a very simple speaking challenge for you today.
We want you to practice this sentence. You can type it in the comments or just say it out loud right now. Fill in the blank. I am trying to stay active by, and then add your action.
For example, I am trying to stay active by walking after dinner. Or, I am trying to stay active by stretching at my desk.
I am trying to stay active by taking the stairs instead of the elevator. Give it a try.
We really hope this conversation helps you feel a little more confident, both in your English and in your daily movement.
Just remember, take it one step at a time and never be afraid to just start again.
Maybe take a gentle, small walk after this episode to clear your head. Just don't overdo it.
Yes. Be kind to your muscles. Thank you so much for joining us today, everyone. Keep practicing your English every single day.
Yes, keep moving, keep learning, and we are so proud of your progress. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you next time.